in your case, when you are connecting from SAP UI5 with OData ABAP services. In your case, when you are connecting from SAP UI5 with OData ABAP services, so this is the path you have to use. Proxy slash and HTTP slash. Proxy slash HTTP slash you can use like that. Okay, so what some people are doing is they're just using this one. And they're using HTTP colon, they're using like this. So it is not going to work. This is the wrong syntax. And this is the right syntax. And moreover, those who are trying to practice today, you may not get the data. Why? Because server is down. Server is down, so you may be facing a problem in connecting. So try it tomorrow. Okay, so most of the people got this problem. So this is the right syntax and this is a wrong syntax. So please notice that.
Hello?
So this is the right syntax, this is a wrong syntax. So in your case, I'll come one by one. So I'm just pasting this in your GoToMeeting chat box. So try to copy in your machines. Try to copy in your note file. So just take that. I copied the right syntax and the wrong syntax in this GoToMeeting chat box. From that chat box, try to paste it in your note file. Okay, so please note that.
But this syntax I've used, but still it didn't get the data.
No, this is going to work. The first one, proxy slash HTTP slash you have to use, not this one. Some people are using like this. That is not going to work. You have to use proxy slash HTTP slash. Okay. If it is not connecting, that means because of server problem, you might not be got connected because from today morning, there is a server problem here. From today morning, there is a server problem. Even if you use the right syntax, it will not get the data because server is down. Are you getting my point? So try tomorrow. Once the server is on, then try this right syntax. Okay, then.
Sure, I'll try and then we'll.
Okay, fine. Then Alok, you have any doubts?
Hi, Vijay. Alok here.
Yeah.
Vijay, as in the last class, you said that you have used this proxy because you are accessing the server through a proxy server. So those who are not who are accessing the server directly, they need not have to write this proxy. That is
Just
a bit
try to
confusing.
use this one. No, what you do is use this syntax because in your case also try to use proxy, but I was using a proxy directly here.
Okay.
I was using a proxy by discarding all these things. There is a lot of difference in my case and your case. I was using directly proxy slash something like this. But what I'm telling you is you try to use like this. Proxy, after that, all these things.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah, there is a lot of difference. Wrong syntax, right syntax, my syntax, they are totally different. So please notice that. I pasted this right syntax in your case in GoToMeeting chat box. Try to utilize that in the coding part. Once the server is on.
Okay.
When the server is on, try that. Okay, then what else? You have any other doubts apart from this?
No, Vijay. Thank you.
Okay, then Anil. Anil.
Hello, Vijay.
No, Vijay.
Yeah.
No, Vijay.
Okay, Anil. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Vijay.
Okay. You can speak now, Anil. Anil, can you hear me?
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you. The entity set in the URL itself.
Your
Hello.
voice is breaking. Adilakshmi, I think please try to mute your volume. Try to mute your volume. So because there is some lot of background disturbance. And Adilakshmi, I've already clarified your doubt. Please go according to that. And Anil, I think your voice is breaking. Please try to set that settings. I'll come back to you. Then Ashish Sharma, you have any doubts? No. Okay, then Deepthi, can you hear me? Yeah, no doubts. Then Dheeraj Singh, Dhirendra Singh.
No doubt, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay. Then Gaurav.
Yeah, I have a doubt, Vijay. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Actually, when I'm trying to access that SAP GUI from my office, it is giving some error.
What is that error you're getting?
Some error I'm getting. Just I tell you.
Can you send that screenshot to me once?
Yeah, I already sent one email to you.
I think server is down now. So from today morning, there is server problem. Server is down. So that means you might have got this
No,
problem.
not only today. Actually, from starting, I'm getting. When I connect it from my home, I'm able to connect. But from
Okay. I think then your machine in the office should have, I think this one. I told you, right? Host file should be mapped to IP address.
that whatever you have given, I already done that. Yes.
But I
I
think
mean,
you need to speak to your administrator because your company machines, definitely there will be some restrictions. That might be the problem. If you are able to connect from your personal PC and if you are unable to connect from office, that means there will be some restrictions in your office system. So that might be the issue.
no, it is not a system because that same system, if I use from home, it is I'm able to connect. I think it is something with the internet. If I use office network, then I'm not able to connect.
So are you getting the same thing which I'm facing now, this one, or any other error?
Yeah, just yeah, this same error I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what. So I think there may be some problem with your office machine. I'm not sure because in one machine it is working. If it is not working in another machine, that means definitely there will be some network problem. Might be internet issue in that office. So I am not sure what exactly went wrong. So as far as this particular server is concerned, try to practice from outside your office network. Okay, try to practice this. Try to log into the system from outside your office network.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Then
okay.
Harshavardhan. Harshavardhan, can you hear me? Yeah, no doubt. Then Jyoti. Jyoti, can you hear me?
Yes, no doubt, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So Mahendra.
Yeah, Vijay, Mahendra here. Actually, Vijay, I was implementing the table, and
Okay.
populating the data day before yesterday. So I mean, it's not a doubt, just just because of curiosity, I'm asking that if I'll not provide width, whichever you have provided, 100 pixels or 120, whatever, if I'll not provide, and if I want to take it as automatic width, how can we do that?
I think there will be some property like fixed layout. I think you should be using this fixed layout property at table level.
Okay.
So according to the column text, it might be taking that fixed layout. So just cross check with your table documentation. Just go to that UI5 documentation, open the table and go to API documentation. In API documentation, you may find some properties which will solve your problem.
Okay. Because in some cases 100 pixels are too big, and in some cases it is too small. So
Okay,
I want to make it automatic.
what you do is you just send me that output of the table. Just send the screenshot of the table output. I can understand what happening. Then based on that, I can give some solution.
Okay. No issues.
Okay.
I'll
Because
send you.
when I look into that screenshot, then I can understand easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then any other doubts?
Nothing.
Mahendra.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Then Mahidar. No doubts. Okay. Then Mohan.
No doubt, Vijay.
Okay. Then Mukund.
No doubt for me.
Okay. Yeah. Then Narsimha. Narsimha, can you hear me? Then Neeraj.
Hi Vijay.
Yeah.
Yeah Vijay, I'm audible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. First thing is we are using like packages SAP UI Core, SAP UI Commons. There is some package like SAP dot M and then dot or something like that. So what do you mean by M? Is it something related to mobile?
Yes, sap.yum is a name of the package which we are going to use in our theory classes. When I start the theory part, definitely we are going to use all the screen elements from sap.yum. They are mobile specific. You can run those screen elements from a mobile device, from a mobile client. So we are going to do that. Don't worry about sap.yum. Yeah, you can run those screen elements on desktop also, but they are something different from our desktop. The screen elements on desktop and screen elements on mobile, there is some difference. So the table is also available in sap.yum. Are you getting my point? So which suits more of mobile. So whatever applications we are developing till now, that runs on mobile also, no problem. But apart from that, SAP has provided some new screen elements which is specific to a mobile. More flexible, lightweight compared to your sap.ui.commons.
Okay, and that is common. We can run on web, we can run on tablet, we can run on mobile, right?
Of course, yes, definitely, yeah.
Okay, and as an example, when we created a table, we use a class and a package name model, then .o data model, and under that we have a property name where we give the complete URL, that is proxy, HTTP, and then further complete URL of our OData service.
Okay.
There are different ways of writing it, because when I was checking, I saw one case in which some user have created an object with the name as service URL, and then he has added that service URL in the model object.
In that case, so if you are using standard applications will be more generic. So they may use a different syntax, but more or less ultimately it is going to connect your OData service.
Okay. Okay.
Are you getting my point? More or less service URL will be taking this SAP, OP, OData, SAP. So when you refer a standard Fiori application, you may get some different coding part, but the service URL will be same.
Right. Right. Because sometimes we see it's a complete different structure what we are seeing, because your way of telling is a very simple and basic, which is easy to understand. But once we go into the code, it seems a little difficult to understand what it is.
That's what. So when we go for Fiori, you'll understand the next level of service consumption.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, we are mostly treating towards the function, use of functions, like in between function, we write.
Exactly, definitely. So we are going to discuss how to create a function, how to access a function, how to implement the code inside the function. So the next coming classes definitely will get that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. So at present we are in interacting with OData service. So once if we complete that OData interaction, then we can perform some functions, events, and etc.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then let me go to Rakshit. Rakshit, you are not getting the data to front end. Yeah, that's what I said. So you should use this one. Just copied that. So this is what you need to do, Rakshit. So don't use like this, http:// Instead of that, use http/ and before http, use proxy/. Rakshit, are you getting my point? Yeah, okay. So try with this one, okay? In your case, you try like this. Yeah. Then what about others? Let me come back to, yeah, Parthasarthi. Parthasarthi. Can you hear me? Okay, then.
Vijay, this is Anil.
Yeah, Anil.
I just have one doubt related to this URL.
Okay.
Suppose in real-time environment, I have done this development in development system. So I wanted to move this OData to quality.
Okay.
So
already I clarified that doubt. That doubt already I told you. In real time, it will be like in the manner in which I'm using. So it will be something like this. So in real time, it won't be this one. The IP address of development server and quality server, everything will be different. The IP address, the server name of development server, quality server, production server will be different. That's the reason why we provide in this manner directly. And the administrator will configure host name, server name inside one .xml file. They will take care. You need not worry about that.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So in the actual application, in the actual real-time application, we don't use the server name directly in the coding. We don't use IP address directly in the coding part. Just we use this generic name.
Okay. So when we are uploading this to our UI5 server, we need to change the URL.
No, it's not like that. So what happens is there will be some settings in the .xml file. So they will try to configure your IP address along with the host name. That means the server name. So you need not change that every time, because whenever you deploy to a quality or whenever you deploy to production, it automatically will be reflected in the XML file. So, but in the coding part, you should not change anything.
Okay.
So it should be like this.
I mean to say, okay, for testing purpose, when we are testing in Eclipse through Eclipse, we need to give full URL, and when we are uploading it to UI5 server, I mean to say OData server, we need to change this URL and just place it from the screen from the.
Generally, whenever you are developing application in Eclipse in real time in Eclipse environment.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So your application can be deployed in any server once if you do like this.
Okay.
So that means we are just providing the generic path. We are not providing any specific to a server or a specific to a port number. Just provide this type of thing in real-time development.
Okay.
Yeah. Then what about others? Tina, Vasant.
Vijay, Sunil here.
Yeah, Sunil.
Vijay, actually, while writing that bind property statement, we are using that function in bracket p-value.
Okay, yeah. Mm.
This p-value, it's what we can give any name over there, or is it a syntax?
You can give anything. You can give anything. Why? Because it is just like a parameter for passing the data.
Okay, so whatever is there in the price, it will get passed to p-value.
Exactly. It can be X value or Y value.
Okay.
I've just taken P value because it's a price value.
Okay.
That is just a parameter which will pass the data to the function.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then, yeah, Suprit Singh.
Sir, I have a doubt related to login, sir.
Login credentials, I'll send it because there is some server problem from last 2 days.
No, sir, actually I'm able to log in with user 10, which you gave. Okay. You gave us 4 or 5 users. Okay. And out of those, sir, I'm able to log in with user 10, but I'm not able to log in with 9, 11, 12. So 10 is busy sometimes, and other logins are not available, sir. They're saying wrong username.
I'll send the other IDs which are not active, and I'll be making those active.
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, yeah. Any other doubts related to subject?
No, sir. I'll be practicing later also.
Okay.
After login.
Then.
Hello.
Sumit. Yeah, Sumit. Sumit Biswal, can you hear me? And then Srikanth. Srikanth, Sri Rangam. Srikanth.
Hi, Vijay.
Then there is one more person with same name, Srikanth. You have any doubt?
Hi, Vijay. Vijay, I have doubt. This is related to configuration of Eclipse.
Okay.
Actually, initially I was installed latest version of Eclipse. At that moment, I was not able to get all the any methods in that. Okay. After that, I tried with the version which you are using, that is Juno 4.2, I guess. Yeah. In that also, I was not able to get their methods. I got a few errors on that. And now I installed the next version 4.3. But in that, I'm not able to get a tooltip method in that, Vijay. Do I need to do any changes?
Yeah, let me tell you. This is a very important doubt. So let me tell you. So say for example, if you are creating some text field, something like this, sap dot some ui dot commons dot some text field, for example. So now here you can call some text field dot set tooltip. So sometimes you may not get this tooltip, set tooltip method, you will not get directly when you use control space. Why? Because that method may not be available directly in this class. It may be available in super class. So you can directly use it even if it is not reflecting. Are you getting my point? So you can see here, I'm opening the documentation once. Others also please try to observe here. Say for example, there's a text field, and text field contains some documentation here. And you can see under documentation, there are some methods here. If you closely observe, So if you closely observe this screenshot, others also, please follow this. So text field is not having a method here. There is a set editable, set enable, something, max length, name, required, text alignment, text direction, set value, set width, and some more methods. But if you closely observe these setter methods, there is no method which we are expecting, that is set tooltip. Set tooltip is a method not available in this method list, but that method may be available in the superclass. You can see here. If you closely observe that, here you can see there is some more additional list. So you can see something like, okay, here you can see. So there is a method that is set tooltip, and that method is a method borrowed from some superclass here. So some methods will be directly available in that same class. Some methods may be populated because of the superclass. Are you getting my point? So the methods, whatever we use from the same class, can be accessed, and the methods of its superclass also can be accessed. So you can see methods borrowed from so-and-so class, methods borrowed from so-and-so class. You can see that. These methods are also valid when you're writing the program. But sometimes these methods may not be reflected when you use control space. So, hello students, are you getting my point? Srikanth. Did you understand my last point? Some methods are directly available in the screen element. Some methods may be part of the superclass. So you can use those superclass methods also whenever necessary. So please notice that. Okay, Srikanth. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Vijay, got the point. Okay,
so
then I will try.
So what I mean to say is, if any method is not visible when you use control space, even then no problem. You can continue with that method, which I told you in the class, because that method may be coming from superclass. Okay. Yeah. Then Shiva. Shiva. Yeah. No doubts. Then. Are you able to practice, Shiva? Are you up to date? Okay. Yeah, then try to practice. Then Sheshu. Sheshu, can you hear me? Yeah, you have any doubts? Yes. Yeah, yes, we can extend. You can see. Let me go to the documentation once. So you can see there is a rating indicator, and you can see here something like there is a value. There is a max value you can see here. Hello, other students also, please notice that. So you can see for rating indicator, the default property is max value with a default value 5. You can see here. So what you do is use max value colon 10 if you want. Are you getting my point? Okay. But default is 5 because in the documentation you can see that it is 5. No, I think that we can't do. That's a default function. Cross symbol, you will get tick mark symbol, not cross symbol. If you, I think in SAP theory, I think you may get that cross symbol, but in UI5 SAP.UI Commons, SAP UI Commons related screen elements with checkbox will give tick mark symbol. But in theory, I think we may get some cross symbol. Yeah. Then what about others? But I don't think that will really affect your business functionality. Okay. Yeah. Then
Muted.
Mahendra. No doubts. Okay. Then Satya Sunil. Satya Sunil. No doubts. No doubts. Okay. Then Saroj. Sahu Saroj. Okay. No doubts. Then Sanket. Sagar Sanket.
No, no doubt, no doubt.
Okay. Then Rohit.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. You
Hello.
can speak now.
It's regarding the Eclipse. Actually, sir, there is a three options coming above it: Java, E, ABAP, and Web. I just see that you are using coding using the Web, but I'm doing coding in the Java E. I haven't faced any issues. So, is there any difference between these three when we are using Java E or Web?
You should not use Java double E. You should use Web here. You can see that there is a Java double E perspective, there is ABAP perspective and Web perspective. You should use this one here, Java double E,
But I
ABAP,
have used.
and you have to use Web perspective to test your applications and to run your application. This is because SAP UI5 doesn't belong directly to Java. It's nowhere related to Java. So try to use Web perspective here.
Okay, but problem is that when I'm creating the projects in web, I'm not able to create the project. I don't know why, but while I'm doing a practicing properly with the Java E. So what the basic difference? And I'm getting all the classes and all this and using it properly. So, but with the web, I'm not able to create
So
the project.
what it is saying, when you click on web, what it is saying?
I'm not able to create the project. It is showing some error and then coming back to the Java E by default.
Then no problem.
I
If
will,
you are able to run the applications, then no problem. If you are unable to run, try to shift to web and test the applications.
okay.
Okay.
And
If
one
you are
more doubt regard.
if you are able to
Yeah,
run all these examples properly, then don't worry about that. Okay.
yeah. And one more doubt about that function p value. Is it a by default functionality provided by the means that there is a all defined property that we can use the integer value or we can use the string value also in p value?
We can use string value also. That p value can be an integer, string, or anything. But unfortunately, in yesterday's class, we were using a price which is of like integer value. But it will accept any data type.
So there is some declaration regarding it or not, because we are directly fetching means
You can see
if I'm
here.
talking
You
about
can
a
see. Yeah, you can see here something like we are using a price, and that price is coming from the backend system. That price is coming from
right.
backend system, and that is populated here. So it will take the data type of our OData ABAP field. Are you getting my point?
Okay.
The OData
Right,
ABAP
right,
field
right.
in the backend price may be integer, so it may be taking an integer value here. If the data type of that field in OData is string, then it will automatically take string here.
Okay. Fine.
So
So
that means you need not declare the data type inside that function here. Are you
okay.
getting my point?
So like automatically it will fetching means if it is a like typecasting will not be happen means if we are checking like value with the like we are not defined here, but we are like if it is a string value and we are checking is greater than equals to 500, then it will cause the problem or not, like if we are not aware
If you
about
are
the values or
no, you should be aware that as a developer, you should check what is the data type of that field in the OData level. Accordingly, you write the code.
okay.
Are you getting my point? So as a developer, you should be aware of that. You have to open that OData service, refer the entity type. In the entity type, there will be some fields, and you try to verify what is the data type of those fields. Accordingly, you write the code here. But when you are using a function with greater than, less than, equal to, it will work for arithmetic operations.
Right.
Because price is an integer value.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So declaration part means is already given in the system, and we are just using those functionalities.
Exactly. Just we are passing the value by using p-value parameter, and p-value parameter data type depends on the price which we are getting from OData level.
Okay. Automatically it will pick up
Exactly.
the value.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Then Rani. Rani, can you hear me? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. No doubts. Okay, then Raja. No doubts. Okay, then Rahul. Rahul, can you hear me?
Yeah, Vijay, I have one doubt.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, yes, you can
Yeah,
ask me.
In the table control, we have one option for paginator, right?
Yeah, paginator, yes.
So, and in sap.ui.common also we have one paginator option. So we can declare the object for that paginator in sap.ui.common, and we can just pass that object to that table. Is it?
Okay, let me check here. Here you can see there is a table. So here you can see it is taking sap.ui.table. So I think it won't accept that one because it is referring to a different data type. SAP UI table dot navigation mode dot paginator. So it's better use this instead of using sap.ui.commons dot paginator. So because table is not expecting this one. Table is expecting this type of navigation mode dot paginator. So better use the first one, not the second one for table.
Okay, and it's for any of the controls, right?
Hello?
Yeah, it's for any of the control, like some of the control which we are using in sap.ui commons. And
for other controls, if you want to use, you can use it. So what we generally do is, if you are using the second one, then what we are going to do is, we are going to capture that paginator value. Page number is something like 3, for example. Then we can load some screen elements. If something like page number is like 5, then we can load other screen elements here. In that way, we can use that SAP UI commons.paginator. But for table, definitely we should use a different one. That is this one you have to use.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Then, yeah, Praveen, what's your doubt? Praveen.
Hi Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, I have one basic doubt. In the WebDAM Pro, usually we can find the mandatory screen properties, right?
Mandatory.
The same way, how can we find the mandatory screen properties on the UI5?
Where did you find those things?
I mean, in the WebDAM Pro, usually if a screen property is mandatory, it actually identifies, I mean, it shows in a red color for the UI element.
Yes.
Similarly, how can we identify a mandatory property for the UI5 screen element?
In UI5, there is no special indicator to check that there is a important property. So with experience, with training, only you can do it.
Okay, so
In
we I mean,
SAP UI5, in SAP UI5, you can't identify important or mandatory properties of a screen element. You can do this only by experience or through training. That's the reason why when I was explaining a table, I was explaining a text view, and I was telling you that text is important.
yeah.
But text view may have other properties, but without text you can't complete that functionality.
Yeah.
Similarly, if you are using a text field, I told you that value is an important property and it's a mandatory property. There may be other properties, but value is important for text field. So I came to know these things just with experience only. SAP never mentioned, SAP did not mention anywhere that this is a property which is mandatory.
Yeah, that is what even I have read that documentation thing. Even there, I don't find anything like mandatory. So
Yes,
wanted to.
you don't find it, but you will find those properties in the source code. In the source code, they will tell you use this property, and that means as a developer you need to understand that they are important.
Okay, fine. And one more doubt, Vijay. Like I have used that association also in the OData.
Okay.
It worked for me, but the doubt I have here is like for whichever key fields I have marked as a key field, only for those fields we can form the association, right?
Yes.
And in that,
Common
say,
fields. There should be common field relationship.
yeah, exactly, common field, and it is supposed to be a key field too. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, and again, after that, once I give a navigation and everything, when I try to pass the parameters in the UI, say for example, if I have given two fields in the navigation, if I don't pass one of the field, it is throwing me an error. So,
It
is
will
it
throw an
required to
error.
pass both? Yeah.
It will throw an error. Why? Because in your OData level, you are using two fields as key fields.
So my
So
question is
in
like,
that
do we need
case,
to?
yeah, in that case, pass the blank value in the front end, but in the coding you have to manage it. If it is blank, then proceed further with your coding. In the coding part, you have to manage that type of issue.
Okay, so for whichever fields we make the navigation, we have to pass those field values. That's a mandatory.
Exactly. You have to pass the values. It can be blank, but you have to pass that. You have to utilize that parameter compulsory.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's what my doubts were.
Yeah. Then.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Anil.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Vijay.
Anil, I think your voice is breaking.
Hello. Oh, okay. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes. But in between it is breaking, so I can't understand. I'm understanding in bits and pieces. Anil, you can try once again. Okay, Ajit. Ajit, you have any doubts? Then Swadin. No doubts. Okay, then Swadin. No doubt. Okay, then Tanmay. Tanmay. Okay, then yeah, Tanmay. Okay, then Vasant.
No doubt.
Okay, then Venkat. I think he missed the last class. I can speak to him later. Then Venkat Vanaparthi. Venkat. Okay, no doubt. Okay, so just observe here. Let me clarify some important things. So here you can see in SAP UI5 development, when you're writing the scripting, you need to take care of these things. You should use like, for example, where something like salary equal to, you can declare like this, or you can use var salary equal to, for example, 30,000, you can declare like this. So this is right. This is the right syntax. But don't use this type of syntax where salary equal to new number. Don't use like this. So this is not recommended. Why? Because now in this case, in this statement, salary will be considered as an object. So when you are manipulating the data, when you are performing arithmetic operations, the coding becomes complex. So don't declare your integer values or numeric values in this manner, because the arithmetic operations becomes difficult. You need to write a lot of coding when you are creating a variable with an object. So please notice that. So this is not the right way. This is not the right way. Why? Because arithmetic operations on number becomes difficult because salary is considered as an object here. This is not the right way because salary will be considered as a object of type number. So manipulations becomes difficult. So please notice that. So please notice that. And arithmetic operations becomes difficult in terms of development, in terms of coding. So this is one thing you need to notice. So, and one more thing you need to notice here, that is, you can use like this, var str, you can do like this, or var str equal to something like Oasis Technologies. You can provide like this. So this is the right way. It's the right syntax, no problem. But don't use this type of syntax like var str equal to new string. Don't use like this. It's not recommended. So you can use this syntax, but don't use the last line. So here str is a variable, and I can say str becomes a object of type string here. Str becomes an object of type string, and if you do like this, string operations like shifting, concatenating, replacing, converting to lowercase, converting to uppercase, all these operations becomes difficult when you are using this syntax. So it's better to use the above syntax here. So please remember that. If you use that last line, then concatenating another string or replacing one string with another string, shifting and splitting the string, converting string to uppercase, lowercase, all these operations becomes very difficult to manage in the coding part when you are using this last syntax. Instead, use this syntax for string. So please remember that. This is not the right way because manipulating string value becomes difficult and string operations like to uppercase, to lowercase, then something like replace, concat, etc. becomes difficult. Becomes difficult to manage. So please notice that. So these are some of the best practices that you need to follow here. Don't create number variable as an object. Don't create string variable as an object. So what I mean to say here is don't use new operator for numbers and don't use new operator for strings. So because new operator is used for creating an object. So new operator is used for creating an object. So if you create number as an object, then operations becomes difficult. If you create string as an object, then operations becomes very difficult. So please notice that. So better follow these two rules. They are very simple, but they are very, very important. Okay, students, so I'll stop for today. Tomorrow onwards, we'll proceed with our regular classes. Okay. In tomorrow's class, what we are going to do is we are going to use like a graph with OData ABAP service, and we are going to discuss row repeater with OData service. And tomorrow, if time is sufficient, then I'll tell you how to use CSS concept in SAP UI5. How to use CSS concept in UI5. So we'll concentrate on these three topics in tomorrow's class. Okay.